This is my daily review for Thursday, August 5th. I took two trades, one on QCOM and one on AMD. My QCOM trade was a daily support breakdown slash gap fill. So really quick, I'll just describe the bigger time frame. QCOM has been in the news for a few days here. It had a really big gap and go with good volume. And ever since, we've had pretty decent volume while the price has stayed in the range here between 150 and 146.50. And you can see price has really stayed in this range here. And on today, it was nearing the bottom of it. So really, you could play two different trades. You could do a daily support bounce where it holds this 146.50 and then you get a nice long, or it can even penetrate it, come down, get back above it, and then you go long. Or the third play, which is a good one as well, which is a breakdown and then a continuation down, and it's also a gap fill, and that's what it did here. So basically today, RVOL was over 100%, even in these first few minutes. So you can see here, these first few minutes, price was really condensed. And in my mind, it was showing this nice compression, higher or lower highs, higher lows, just getting tighter and tighter. Meanwhile, our vol was high. And then, like I said, we are nearing the bottom of this daily support. So I was looking for something to happen, either a break up and a hold of the daily support or a breakdown. I think I initially went long and then got out quickly, and then actually I tried shorts twice. So I was reading that it was going to be a short, so I let me get my magic marker out here. So yeah, stop loss was here, went short, got spooked, got out, saw that it was holding again, so I got in again, same area, saw it did break down here, saw some volume coming in. So then I saw it hold and see how it held here. So that was pretty much a breakdown, a little baby retest. So, and then I saw it drop some more. So then I got in again. I think my next stop was somewhere around here. I'll have to look. But basically this right here was telling me that this indeed was picking the downward direction, and we were getting this bigger time frame breakdown, which was going to give me a good ATR move with this high RVOL. And I drew a trend line here. This was the distance of the ATR. I think it was about $3.50. So then I added in. I held here for pre-market low, held again for the whole dollar 145. My plan was to add in again, but I don't know why. I guess I got a little spooked here. So these were smaller partials. I held, no, actually, no, they weren't. This was a pretty decent partial. So I had 33% left. And then on the way up, I got out of a little bit of that, had about 25% left. Noticed that was the highest it was going to go when it did this little turnaround with volume. So then I got back in a little heavier than what I got out of here with my stop, I think above here, and then partialed some more. So I think I managed it pretty well. And this is what it did. So I got that partial here. That's right. So I had a few more orders set, one for the 144.50, which I didn't get filled, and then another one at 144 even, which I didn't get filled. I thought that was going to be the money one right here. It was, it was 144 near 1 ATR. We had the high RVOL. I thought I got it here, and you could see this was the gap fill. Filling this gap would have been all the way down to 143. So I thought for sure it would get to 144. But that's all right. Doesn't always work like that. Seems like this, when I draw this ATR, it's like a curse for me. It's like it almost never does it when I draw this ATR. And then it just came up and stopped me out. So this must have been where I had my stop right here. Anyways, I think I got 2.5 R on it. I only risked a half R here, and then I added another half R risk to total 1R, and then I ended up making 2.5R, which if I would have gotten these partials here, I would have gotten probably 3.5R at least. So totally happy with how I managed that. And I don't know if this is necessarily an A+ play of mine. I guess the gap fill is a little bit different. I haven't done gap fills all that much, like a later gap fill, like on the day of that it breaks, like that it gaps, and then sometimes I do a gap fill on that initial news day, but to play the gap fill later, I haven't done as many, so I'll definitely have to playbook this and see if it comes up again. But my big trade here was on AMD. Obviously super strong. I honestly was afraid to short it at all. However, what I saw here was a couple different signs that it was getting weak. If you notice here, if we zoom out, look on the 5-minute, you got your high, high, pullback, high, pullback, high, pullback, high, pullback, high, pullback. So somewhere in here we would expect it to hold and then get higher, or even maybe break. So basically it made a nice consolidation range in the pre-market here. So really you could have used this range to say if it gets below it's a short, if it gets above it's a long. And so, and then what it started giving you were patterns down here that that told you it was going to be a short. So what it looked like here was, probably should get rid of these trend lines here, but it made a descending triangle. So you could see how it couldn't even break the top of this pre-market little range it made. Couldn't break it in the open. Quickly kind of got under, sort of was squiggling around here, and then eventually failed and couldn't ever break pre-market high, pre-market low again. And to me, it looked like a descending triangle. So lower highs, this 146, 60 area, 115 area was sort of the low. And so you kind of combine the bigger picture of this thing finally stalled out and stopped making a new high after a pullback. So now you have to think that all these longs are going to start stopping out, and we could get this potential good first initial sell-off day, or big sell-off at least. So yeah, I gave a descending triangle. I kept getting in and then out. I was getting spooked here. The thing about these descending triangles, I honestly think they're not the best to get in until after they've shown you that they're breaking down. And so what I mean by that is, I draw this line, or I draw this descending triangle, and you want to see it break down. You want to see this volume come in. That starts to confirm what it's doing. But really, you want to see it pull back, hit this area again, and then that's when you enter in. Because here, the hard part is you never know when this really is going to break down. Because this could have kept spiking, and kept spiking, and kept spiking, and really it could have drawn it out. See what I'm saying? So you never know. And this is not the best stop in my mind, because trend lines can always be changed and moved around. Whereas if you have a nice, almost precise bottom, this is not going to change much. But these tops might fluctuate a bit. So anyway, so that's why I'm always a little bit squirrely about getting in and out until it's finally broken down. So here, I thought it was breaking down officially here, so I got in. I guess I really thought it was again, so I got in some more. I'll have to look at the tape and see what I saw here, but sure enough, it did break down. Took some, covered some. Thought for sure this was going to be the big move, so I actually left quite a bit on the table here. I think I was only down to like 60% or more of my position still. So I was ready for the big move, and unfortunately it came up. And look, it did exactly what I said that these descending triangles do. Comes up and does a retest perfectly to this area. So, and this was my break even. So I let it stop me out. A lot of times, so the thing is, it's tricky because my entry wasn't the best here, right? It was almost after it was breaking down. if I would have gotten this correct and entered here, then my break even would have been up here, then it would have been good. So a lot of times if I do chase it a bit like this and my break even is right here, a lot of times if I've partialed some, I will move my stop up a little bit and I'll waste a little bit of money just because I believe in this retest level. So that's one strategy that I'll do. If it comes back and then it does retest, and it's about to retest, I'll move that up a little bit, risk a little bit of what I have left and let it turn around. Or I can do what I did here, is let it stop me out, see it do a little isolated pivot, and then get in again with the stop here. This has basically confirmed to me that this was a retest. And this is a separate trade for me. Like this, I would completely get in on its own right here. If I didn't see any of this, if I wasn't able to trade this and I saw it right here, I would try this for sure. So that's why I was convicted to get in again. I know that Tyler tried actually to go long right around here, which was, he got an awesome entry and it looked like it was about to happen here. You could see some buying volume come in. And had he been right, I think he would have gotten a really big move up, because I think that that would have been a fake breakdown. So that would have done this, it would have done this, and then it would have got back above it, held it, and then you would have gotten a nice move up. If it was really doing, you know, a fake breakdown, if this was like a legit move. Anyways, that's not what happened. It went down. Like I said, I got back in, added in a little early here, but I just thought it was going to continue. And you could see it just sort of compress, and then boom, here's the real move, or here's the second time of the move. You know, you got your initial move right here. You got your retest, which generally this whole thing was one big retest, and then your next big move. And right here, honestly, I should have just gotten really heavy. I mean, I added in, so I'm really happy I added in. And I'm going to start adding in here more when I really see it happen. I mean, when you get double confirmation, here, retest, and then here again with volume, I mean, honestly, I should almost just scalp the shit out of this and just make a ton of money right here and then leave a little bit left for the bigger move. But anyways, so what happened? So here's how I managed it. Added in, so that was my third add in here. Partial again at the daily level, and then partialed one more time at even 112, which I just set that order. I had to leave the house, set it and forget it, and got it good. And that was awesome. I had a little bit of shares left though, and there was a huge order at 111. It was actually at 112, and it moved down, kept moving down. A big over 1,000 lot order on the level 2 kept moving from 113 to 112 to 111. And so I did have a little bit of shares left, and so what I did was I just let this thing play out, didn't watch it for a while, then realized, you know what, this thing might have one more big breakdown. Saw this nice compression again, so I added in slightly with my stop up here, and then I actually set a price alert to tell me when this broke down right here, and I was going to add in one more time. I chased it because I missed that price alert by a few minutes, chased it, and then it just stopped me out of break even. So whatever, it is what it is. I was just trying to scalp and get a couple more pennies out of that last move, but got out at break even there. So overall, I had a really good day, and I feel like I managed this really well, and I was patient, and yeah, it was basically, it was I'm not sure what to call this, if it was just a second day play. Second day play meaning you got your big breakout day, and then the second day it could either continue or you could get a nice pullback or sell off, and that's what it was. It was a nice, you know, you had your nice top here, you had a little range to work with, so you could work, you know, long above this, short below this, and it ended up being a short. And then I just played these patterns for the continuation trend of the overall bigger sell-off here. So thanks, and I will talk to you later.